Sports Goombahs, Cassidy King here. I got my chef to the left, Brendan B. Mikey the Wall to my right. This is Sports Goombahs webcast. Welcome to the show. Of course, we are Sports Goombahs, and we are live at the 515 studios here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Brought to you by Seal Roofing, Apple Public Adjusters, Serpro of Doylestown, and M. Resnick Plumbing. These are our featured sponsors for today. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having me.
We're live at www.sgshow.net. Give us a call, 267-563-2893. That's 267-563-2893. The Sports Goombahs Smoke Phone. Also, we are taking all your requests, country music, rock and roll, whatever you want, on Facebook. Also, Cassidy King at Sports Goombahs on Twitter. Check it out right now. All right, let's get right to the chaos of the NFL. Everyone wants to talk about what happened yesterday. I mean, quite frankly, unexpected, maybe. Expected, I don't know. First of all, as you can see, I have our patron saint, Tony Romo, up here. The legendary, he took over for Brett Favre as our beat-up boy for the last, 3 or 4 years since we were on the radio. He's no longer any good to us. He's winning in December. He's playing good football. End the story for old Tony Romo.
Cut him loose.
He's got to go. Cut him loose. Yeah, there he is. Tony Romo. Hit the road, Jack. Boom. Done. End the story. Oh, Vic. Vic. Get him. Yeah, there you go. Vic the York. He's going to take care of Tony Romo. Oh.
He's humping it.
Oh, hey, take it easy there.
Best action that Tony's had in a while.
Absolutely. Our new patron saint, next week we'll get a little doll so we can kick his ass too, is Johnny Manziel.
Does he need us to kick his ass? I think the NFL defenses are kicking his ass enough. We don't have to.
Let's talk about this a little bit. Yesterday, Fox was, all hard up for Johnny Manziel. I mean, Lynch was in the booth doing the game, but I don't know who on Fox. But they were kissing his ass from the minute that they were on the air. And all he did was play horrible. And in the first quarter, they were giving excuses for him left and right. And, they're blaming everybody that they could on the team, the offensive line, the play call, and everything. When it's obvious Manziel didn't know what he was doing, didn't even look like he should be where he's at that point. And the mistakes that he made were rookie mistakes. And I know everybody, and I talk to people today to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to quarterbacks. And maybe I don't. I don't know. I never played the spot. I don't know. But a guy that small in this league, it's not going to work. And then they go, well, what about Russell Wilson? Well, you're pointing out one guy. Once again, one guy in the past 10 years, that size working. Drew Brees is bigger than him. He's different. It's just a whole different quarterback.
And Brees wasn't that great at the beginning.
Who was the last really small, successful quarterback?
Flutie. That's exactly it, Flutie. And there's the other name they come up with. Well, it's a different NFL.
Well, how many years ago was Flutie, too?
Flutie's 10 years ago. But the point being is, even the hits he was taking now, and I said this from day one with all that money stuff, these guys are pissed off at him. The defense is pissed. They're hitting him. I mean, Cincinnati took some personal foul just to do that in his face, and it was well worth it. They knew they were going to kill him anyway. But I knew from day one when he came out with that money stuff, you're pissing a lot of guys out there who worked a heck of a lot harder than he did to get to the NFL. And you're going to start that crap, and he's going to get that throughout his career every time he gets slapped. And he's going to get slapped at. And I don't think he's going to make it. I just don't think that frame, his way of playing the game, and he's looking to run first, obviously. Okay, and
run for his life.
Right, but the point being is that he's not NFL material. I've been saying that when he came
definitely
out.
didn't look it. I mean,
you know what he looks like? Remember when you were like a kid and you were just started high school or a new school or whatever, and you were like, oh my God, you have that dream where you lost your roster and you didn't know where to go for class and everything was sweating and you're getting all panicked and nervous in your dream. That's what Manziel looked like. He looked like a little kid out there.
He looked like a backyard quarterback.
Yeah, he looked like a little kid amongst men.
I don't think he was prepared for number one for this game.
But whose fault is that? Because he had.
No, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. The point, first of all, Hoyer should have been in there. I mean, the team they're not out of it yet. I mean,
they are out of it now.
They're out of it now. Well, there you go. They're out of it now. Cincinnati is not a juggernaut lately. They can be beat. They played a good football, a good defense yesterday. Well, good defense against what? A rookie quarterback throwing the ball for grabs. That end zone pick was disgraceful. That's freaking Little League football, you don't throw that pass. High school football, you don't throw that pass. You throw that out of the end zone. And you don't throw it off your back foot, especially when you're down there in the red zone or you're close enough to the red zone where you don't make a play like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's played in preseason games. He came into a game a couple weeks ago, and he just doesn't look like doesn't fit. And like I was telling him when he first walked in, the cameras were incredible yesterday. Fox finally did it. They used all their cameras. They used them well. The hanging cameras in the middle of the field behind the snap from center, which I've been screaming about for years, where I want to see the game. On the other side of the defense, kick returners, beautiful, right on the return guy.
I figured out why you don't get that camera angle. Because watching it, like they were showing highlights of the Eagles game, and I could see how bad and how open receivers are. They don't want the common guy picking apart like, oh, well, this person was open. When you see that view, and you're right, it's a great view from behind a quarterback. They don't want you. They don't want. I don't think they want you criticizing their players.
B, if you're at the game live, you get to see that. So what's
you don't get to see? No, you don't get to see that live. Only a few select people get to see that exact angle live. You know.
No,
you're talking about camera angles, right?
I don't. Yeah, but I don't think what you're saying is true or at all whatsoever. I don't think the NFL cares what fans are saying with the players.
The angle thing is no one has ever told me why it's not been like that. I've asked people in radio and TV why, and no one's ever given me a definitive answer. Capability, bullshit, cameras behind center, not being cable. Well, they put it on the goalpost. They can zoom in. They can zoom in whenever they want. Now don't tell me it gets in the way, because now they got when you're in the red zone, they got a cameraman sitting in that end zone ready to shoot out with his mini cam, right, to get the pile after the whistle's blown. So a couple times in last night's football game. But that's neither here or there. The angle is great, and to watch that, and I want to see that. I want to see players run their routes. I don't want to wait for instant replay. I'm not there to watch instant replay, and that's what we do. Basically, in the NFL, when you watch pro football on TV, it's all about the replay. It's all about seeing it in 35 different angles after the play is done. But if you get it from back, now I can see it real time when it happens from the quarterback's perspective, which that's what I want to see. That's the angle I've been screaming for. And now it's starting to happen because it's capable of doing it without getting in the way of the play. But as far as hiding it from what we're seeing, that's ridiculous. I can't imagine that being a reason, because what I'm going to complain because I see a guy wide open. I mean, that's part of what we do. Pick apart situations like that. I mean, you didn't need no camera to see Des Bryant open last night. I mean, you can see. You don't have to look at the TV. You can tell by the sound he was wide open, screaming in the middle of the field. Oh, I'm open.
That was.
I want to talk about that secondary.
Yeah, I was haunted by that last night. Just from
anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, with Manziel, right?
We want to talk about Manziel, yeah.
Yeah, let me finish up on the Manziel here.
I'll let you talk yourself out and then see where we are.
No, look at the point there. I mean, the whole idea was the Manziel game, which I'm calling it, brought out this extra special cameras yesterday. It did. It's the first time I saw a game done like that. So, Fox was all juiced up about Manziel. I think they really thought they were going to get a game out of this guy. And the line even changed to a point to where the Bengals were getting 1.5, 2 points. It was ridiculous. It was like, how could they're changing the line because he's quarterback and Hoyer's not?
Because you don't know what to expect. You don't know what to expect. And they're the home team, so.
Yeah, but you still the guy that's
you're going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
We were salivating over this event.
You couldn't be much worse. Hoyer, though, and Manziel proved it, you can be worse.
You can be worse.
But
yeah, right.
Hoyer was awful for 3 straight games. Awful. So I defended the move initially, and
it doesn't matter right now. You look at it. I mean, did you think they were going to win with Hoyer? No, nobody did. And even if they were in or out, it didn't matter. I'm not defending. I don't think he's going to amount to anything, but I can see the reasoning. You find out now. You play him the rest of the season. Let's find out what we got.
Last week,
see how bad the decision we made.
This is Tebow all over again. This is the NFL shoving a player.
It's too early.
But I'm saying it's going to be like that because he's done so much press on this guy for doing nothing so far. And the same thing happened with Tebow. He came in here, he did nothing, got on the team, he had that little run with Denver, and it made something. I mean, at least Tebow had a little bit of run. He threw the ball forward. He was actually winning football games, so to speak. But Manziel has done nothing but get himself in trouble, make himself a press hound, piss off the defense of every
team. That's why they talk about him. That's why they talk about him. It's not like he's never done anything. He did win a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, okay.
So he's not. It's not like he's
and
just.
So did freaking Tebow.
Yeah, I know that, and that's why Tebow got talked about.
Okay.
When you win a Heisman, you've done something.
You've done something in college ball, but it's so much different in the NFL.
Well,
but I mean, like
you're going to talk about it before it happens.
I understand what Mikey's saying. He's got pedigree. He's got credentials in order to get him to that spot where he needs to study a playbook.
Yeah.
You know, come prepared to a game. Whether or not, I mean, does he have enough raw talent to actually be an NFL quarterback?
Who knows?
Probably, because he was. I mean, he showed something in college.
Mm-hmm.
So the talent is there. Whether he applies that talent or whether that talent's good enough is a different story.
Yeah, he's going to take him years to get used to the speed of the NFL, and that every player is as good as the players he faced on every college team that he played against. Those college players he played against, 1% of them, not even 1%, made it to the NFL. Okay, now he's with all that percentage that made it to the NFL, which means the difference in players. And he sold off the snaps. His linebackers were in his face. His linemen were in his face. His own his offensive line was in his face a couple times because he didn't know how to get away from him. He's looking to run. And I think that a player that size, he made himself a mark. That's what
he did. He put a bullseye on his back, but he wanted that.
Yeah,
because in college he could back it up.
Yeah, but you got to be smart enough not to do that in the NFL. What you do is you get to the NFL, you make your bones little by little. In your third year, when you're starting to play good, then you can start making yourself a bullseye to players. Right now, he's got veterans wanting to. Obviously, you can see what Cincinnati wanted to do to him. They weren't letting up.
But they wanted to do that to him off of what he did in college. He hasn't really done anything that bad in the NFL. It's not like he flipped one fan off in the preseason. Other than that,
when you come out and you get yourself a signature move with the money.
But he did that in college. This is all from college. Well, they hate him from college. They don't hate him from the NFL.
We ain't college anymore, my son.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. But it's not like he's been such an outcast and a bad guy in the NFL.
Real world.
But I'm saying, but what he did in college is following him here. That's all it is.
Hey, you know how I am. Same way with Tony Romo. He came in the NFL. They put the freaking star on his helmet, and they were calling him like great. And he won nothing. He just lost. He could get to the playoffs and lose some playoff games. Same thing you do with Tebow. When it comes to this league, I want players to do something first. That's the whole problem with the NFL. Everybody steps in the NFL, coming here, and they want to be superstars.
You're never going to stop ESPN from hyping somebody up. That's never going to happen.
Yeah, well, it will when they.
It's not his. Yeah, it's not his fault.
When they keep failing, when they back Tebow and Tebow's nowhere.
They need a new story, so they're going to pump this next person out.
That's where my lead.
The story is
it's not like Tebow's. Tebow. It's not like Manziel came out every week saying I should be the starter. I'm better than Hoyer. He's done nothing wrong.
You don't have to say it. He don't have to say it. That's the type of guy he is.
He's Johnny Football. You don't have to say that.
He's Johnny Fraudball. I mean, he's on the bench, rolling his eyes.
I like that.
I never thought I'd find myself defending Manziel.
Well, you are.
Somebody has, because he hasn't really done anything too bad in the NFL.
Yeah, that game he played yesterday.
Yeah, the game was bad.
Exactly, and that was that. You know, you just summed up the point of Cashy's whole thing with Tim Tebow. He hadn't done anything yet, and that is the point. And that's fine. I mean, we could pick apart one game for Johnny Fraudball. I like that. Really do. So Johnny Fraudball, we can pick it all apart all we want because it's only one. It's only one game, and until you know, as he has said in the past, a career, your whole body of work. That's what you get judged on. And we'll see. But until he does, we're gonna have a hell of a fun time
just like
picking him apart.
To say right now he's done over. He's horrible. No career. That's jumping to a conclusion too soon. Just as if let's just say he went out there and threw 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and won a game, and we came in here today saying Johnny Manziel is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
We'd never say that.
Exactly. We're just jumping to conclusions too soon.
Well, it's
you can say he had an awful game because he did.
I don't want to turn on the 1 o'clock game and hear and listen to these guys just jizzing over this dude. I mean, it was ridiculous already. They're just first before they get the music down. The Manziel euphoria. You know, to me, I don't like that. I never did. I don't never like pro athletes coming into a league that you played your whole life to get to and act like a jackass. To open before you've done anything.
What is it? I see the kids are buying Johnny Knows football shirt or something.
Everything. He's
got everything out there. Johnny Knows nobody, right?
His legacy will be that he could sell more shit than anybody in the NFL.
And that helps though.
Yeah.
But it's money.
But then again, in fairness, so what else is there to talk about in a Browns-Bengals game?
You don't talk about a Browns-Bengals. You play the game.
We have to talk about it. Those guys are getting paid to talk about it.
Cincinnati needs to win the game to keep their spot going.
Yeah, they did talk about that.
Very little, man. When it was 20-0.
Well, they both needed to win.
After the Manziel third interception, they were saying, "Well, okay, let's get off the Manziel because we're sounding like freaking fools here." You know, you can only make excuses for the guy and come to the third period. You know, there was no more to make excuses.
Can't polish a turd.
Nah, yeah. What?
Can't polish a turd.
Where do you get this shit from?
Literally, I've heard that.
Can't polish it. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Well, anyway, I'm sure for us, Manziel will be, the material maker, and that's what we need now because Romo's no good anymore. If he's going to start playing good football, the hell I want to talk about him for. You know what I mean? Because he's not one of the best. He's not one of the worst. But Dallas is going to the playoffs now, and they could win a game. And I need Romo screwing up. I needed him to screw up last night. He didn't do it. I was banking on that.
Let me answer your question, man. They were explaining his whole procedure for a game. He gets his shots in his back a half an hour. He does warm-ups. Half an hour before the game, he gets shots in his back. What the hell kind of shots are they giving this guy? If he's got a couple broken – look, I have a couple broken bones. I get shots in my back, right? But I can't get them every week. You can't. What the hell are they giving him in his back?
It's the NFL. It's like having surgeons work on you.
I know, but still, it's the same thing.
Give him stem cells from dead fetuses.
Yeah, I'm sure they give
right into his back.
Tim Tebow cells.
Typically, you would in the old days. You wouldn't tell anybody you're getting shots. The last thing you want to do is say, "Yeah, the player's getting shots. They're shooting up his bad back, so he doesn't feel the pain. The back gets worse. He ends up losing his career." Now they don't care about that because they got so much control over it. They know what they're shooting up. They know how much is too much, too little. There's computers monitoring this. Probably all wired up when they're shooting them or whatever. And his pain level, I mean, Romo's a tough guy. Obviously, he's tough if he's playing with a broken back or whatever they want to call it. And the shots help him play. He was much better looking yesterday than he was 2 weeks ago, But he did also have a secondary, which I can't understand how this is a pro secondary in football. Every play receivers are wide open, and flags are flying every time they do make a play. I mean, it's almost like I gotta blame coaching on the Eagles side from last night. I got to. There's no way. First of all, there's no way a player can play so bad. I mean, Dallas receivers are okay. I mean, Des Bryant's one of the better ones.
Dallas has one receiver.
Yeah, one receiver. Right.
How can you not stop the one receiver when you know it's the only guy they have?
Well, first of all, in that entire game, Des Bryant should never have been open at all. And that one play where he's the killer, and he's wide open. Well, who was covering him? I mean, and forget who was covering. Who was in that territory of the field?
Nobody was.
D-back. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, nobody was.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean that's coaching. There's got to be, what's his name? Billy Davis he's got to answer for this secondary. I don't want to hear that they're just not talented enough because what I'm seeing out there in the secondary isn't even NFL worthy. Okay, and if it's not NFL worthy, how did it get there? How did it get to that point?
It has nothing to do with talent. If you can't cover, I mean, like I understand. Look, if I'm following a guy, I'm following a guy. At least I'm within 6 inches to a foot of the guy when I'm covering him. Okay, there was nobody within 40 feet of him. Not once. But several times.
There's no reaction time.
Exactly. I mean, like you can't follow a simple route. That has nothing to do with talent.
No, what I'm saying, it does have a lot to do with talent. If you can't follow a simple route and stay with a guy, how did you get to the NFL?
Exactly.
Well, so that is talent. Okay, so I have to go back to the people who selected the talent, which I'll go back to Mr. I like doing radio shows. Who's the general manager? Howie Roseman, who's been boasting all year about how he brought in Sproles. He brought the linebacker. What's his name? I forget who he brought in the other linebacker.
Not this year, didn't Ryan's, but that was
last year. Somebody else, someone free. Whatever. He was dancing around on the Monday night on the Monday show, probably doing it right now. How he put together this product, right? Now what's he doing to these players? One, especially secondary, who can't play, and he didn't select players like that. And the first round draft picks, where are they at? They're not even playing. They didn't even get on the field.
He is dressing now. At least that's a start though.
Yeah,
but
he's dressing.
It was a waste of a pick.
Yeah,
waste of a pick.
I mean, they have to next year. And what's worse, they got to field this team next year, secondary. Because what are they gonna do? Just fire all of them? Drop them all, take whoever they can get.
That has to be the number one and pretty much only priority in the offseason.
That's it. I mean, I'm looking
if you come back in next year with the same secondary,
I'm looking for 2 players here. I want 2. I want a free agent. I want 2 free agents and a first round draft pick because you're not getting your quarterback next year. So don't waste it. It's not happening.
So what's all this shit about them trying to? Who's the quarterback? Everybody I see posting that they want the Eagles to get now.
I don't.
The guy with an M.
Marietta.
It doesn't even matter.
But he's not getting him.
Doesn't even matter.
I mean, like, it's kind of ridiculous because
that's his fantasy talk. That's fantasy talk. Like
he's not. They're not getting a quarterback.
I want the Phillies to get Mike Trout. I think we should get Mike Trout.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's the thing: they're going to have the only way they get their quarterback is somehow Chip and the boys find somebody out there third or fourth round quarterback that they can scoop up like a Brady, not like Brady himself, but that type of thing where they can pick somebody in the late rounds who they can mold into this type
Even
of
Richard Sherman wasn't a first. I think he was a third rounder. You can get talent.
Yeah.
I feel, but
that's where talent scouts. That's where it's all made. That's where it's all made at. Your scouts, the one who can pick those late round draft picks and make them into pros. Because quite frankly, you see these first and second rounders. How many of them make it? How many do you hear
They seem
about?
like they're duds because you know why? Because of people like us. We got them under microscopes, and rightfully so, because you're paying this guy $10 billion a year to do something. And of course, they're going to be the ones we follow the most. How often do you follow the Eagles' fourth round pick? Hardly shit at all. Yeah. Exactly. You know what I mean? But
unless
we're
he does
follow
something,
the first round.
Unless he does something.
Exactly. Unless he does something important or he turns out to be a good. And then we sit there and go, wow, that was a good pick. And that's how we go. So we have two views on it, but basically they're slanted both ways for us.
But the Eagles have been historically bad at taking secondary. Since the Lido and Sheldon Brown draft and Michael Lewis, they haven't drafted one valuable defensive or one secondary play. Like, not one of value.
They've been playing the free agent market with that stuff.
But they've tried Jaquan Jarrett in the second round. They tried who's the safety? Nate Allen. Like, these guys, but none of them worked. Like,
Nate Allen was supposed to be the next one, and he's a total bust. What's he, a 4-year man, 5-year man now? Nate Allen. I mean,
at least, yeah.
What's he even doing on this team? There's got to be. See, to me, I'm looking at this secondary. And even Fletcher, who came from St. Louis, who was supposed to be a decent player, I met the guy. I warned him at one of those Eagle meetings down, and he was talking to my daughter, and I said, "You prepare for this town because if you aren't, I can Izell Jenkins, I can go down the line of guys that didn't do well in the past 20 years."
He's getting that nickname now, Toast.
He's not even Toast. He's unable to play. he's not even getting Toast. But you look at a guy like that, and you say to yourself, what happened? I mean, is it the type of defense we're playing? I don't think so, because it's not about defense. When you're running behind your defender every play, and you got to throw your arms up in the air and take a penalty just to stop him from getting a touchdown, you got to have a problem. And that's not about what kind of defense you're playing. That's not about a 5-yard bump. That's about you not being ready, not being capable, and you're not doing your homework on your receivers, obviously. I don't think he does any homework on his receiver, and that's coaching. Okay, if he's not watching film and he's not watching Des Bryant for 48 hours straight before a game, that's wrong. That's bad coaching, and that's bad preparation.
That's part of your job,
especially when you're going into a game like this, where if you lose it, your playoff life is looking weak, and it is. To me, I don't know how there's not 4 other guys they can put in that defensive backfield. I mean, on the team, at this point, what's the difference? You take all 4 of them off and put 4 of your backups in. Even though Boykin's having a rotten year, he was our best last year. This year, I don't know what happened to him. Put him back in there. You knew he could do it at one time. He was capable. Put him back in there. Dude, at this point, what's the difference? You're so bad back there against a good quarterback. And now it seems like we go down the track here and see all the quarterbacks except for Luck, which Luck lost his own game that day. Yeah, he wasn't playing well. That's the only quarterback. Other than that, they've beaten rotten quarterbacks. I mean, we could say Eli. They beat Eli. Big deal.
They haven't beat any team, and that's what I said last week. They haven't beaten any team of merit yet this season. Any game that
they did. They beat Dallas and Indianapolis.
But he's Mr. Dallas sucks. Even though Dallas now is 10-4, and they're going to win.
You can't suck. You can't suck.
You told me the Eagles were going to get a bye.
I didn't say that. I said they could get a bye.
And I told you it wasn't. I said Dallas sucks, and I said Green Bay's better. I mean, Green Bay. I said Seattle's better than Dallas, even though the record doesn't dictate it. That's what I said.
Of course they are. No, you didn't. And you said Dallas sucks. You flat out said Dallas sucks.
I do say Dallas sucks. I do. I don't think their record is indicative of what their skill level is.
So are there 2-3 teams in the whole NFC that don't suck and everybody else sucks? If Dallas sucks, everybody from Dallas down has to suck.
Well, here's the thing. I look at the Cowboys right now. I look at the Cowboys. I look at Cowboys right now. They beat the Eagles, who we thought were half decent and could make a run. They beat Seattle in Seattle. Okay, I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like the Cowboys for one reason only. I hate that freaking Jerry Jones. Other than that, I couldn't give a crap about the one way or not. I just don't like the owner. Now I don't like that.
The fans.
That freaking governor of New Jersey sitting up there, stuff in his face.
I was wondering why he was there.
You know what? I heard everybody bitching about this too. Who cares? He's from northern Jersey.
Oh,
Why
I
would
don't
it piss
care.
you off that all these people going, oh, you should be an Eagles fan?
No, he shouldn't.
He's from
He should
North.
be a Giants fan.
He should be a Giants or Jets
First of all,
fan.
when the Giants won their last Super Bowl, he was up there. Okay, he was up there. He was on the podium with the Giants.
Because he's I don't know.
Because he's what?
The freaking governor.
And the governor of the state of South Jersey, who are Philadelphia Eagle fans. Majority of that stadium is South Jersey. So
you could draw a line in Trenton.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no line in Texas that he has to. If you think he's worried about Texas votes for running for president, he ain't got a chance to be the president. So what he was doing there was just his childhood team was the Dallas Cowboys. As a politician, you got to make the right moves sometimes. Yeah. And if you're a politician in New Jersey and you got enough trouble with your bridge gate and all the other crap you've been doing for the past 6 months, you don't want to piss off the rest of the people. And let me finish. What it means to me is, as a governor of New Jersey, half Philadelphia Eagle fans, Flyers fans, Philly fans, they fill that stadium every night. You have to understand, you got to be in touch with your people. And you got to know a bad move would be sitting with Jerry Jones on a Sunday night nationally televised game in the hometown of where a lot of your votes come from. Well, not the city itself, but the state where people vote for you. That's it. It's like a politician. These politicians show up at churches, synagogue, all over the place to gather people for the hell of it to win votes. That's exactly what he tried to do there as far as a national name. That's what he did. He's sitting next to Jerry Stinking Jones. He's Republican, working his Texas way or whatever he's trying to do. And it's just a bad move. You got to know the people that you represent. Whether you're a Cowboy fan or not, you know when to fold. Don't do that. Don't sit in with the owner because you know the cameras. First of all, he knows the camera's on Jones the whole damn game. Every Cowboy game, there's that camera on Jones. Somebody blows her nose, it's Jones. We've seen Jones blow his nose, spill food, shove his mouth, hug people, high five every time Dallas Cowboys do something good. And where's he? He's right next to him getting that video.
I'm just saying, who cares?
Evidently, a lot of people do because it's such
I know
a big
because
story.
they got nothing better to do.
Because they lost. If the Eagles won, they wouldn't care.
They would have been like, "Hey, take that, Chris. Who gives a shit?"
Well, yeah, they would be going after him the other way, right?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does. It obviously matters when it's.
And nobody gave a shit when Obama threw out the first ball in Washington.
He's already president.
He's a president. He's the president of the
This is a local thing, B. A governor is a local thing. You got the governorship getting the votes of the people in your state. You didn't get it you're not the president yet.
I'm not saying I don't care if
never
he's
will
running
be
for president.
No,
it doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Stupid.
I don't know, like, government enough. Is he able to run again in Jersey for something else? Well, then why does he care about voters?
Exactly.
If you can't,
that's what I mean.
You can't run again. Who the hell cares?
Mental
You're
morons
gonna walk
don't
out,
even
put them all
understand.
off?
Yeah,
Who
it doesn't
cares?
matter. He can't run again.
Because he's still the governor. Regardless if he's running again or not, he's the one that has to listen to people who have their
Wait a
problems in
minute.
the state.
So Governor Rendell.
Oh, forget that.
No, hold on here.
Jesus,
I'm going to make it a point
What?
here. No, he's got how many professional teams in the state?
2.
Okay. And that was a bad move for him to go to an Eagles game and do post games at Eagles stuff when, what if he's trying to be president someday, which it's been thrown out. What are all those Steelers guys? What are all those Steelers fans won't vote for him now, right?
This is the same state, though.
It's exactly. It's the same state.
When Pittsburgh
Same state.
Not the best analogy.
Exactly. You just made the point. It's a different freaking state. Who cares?
What?
It's a different freaking state.
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
No, the fans that support the Philadelphia Eagles are from South Jersey as well. That's their team. You go up past Trenton, you get the New York Giants down that way. It's a difference. You can tell. You can look at the Walt Whitman Bridge on an Eagle game. It's packed with people. Philly game's packed with people. Yeah, during a game, people come from that side of the river to support the Eagles. It's a known fact. That's why it was such an uproar. If that wasn't true, no one would have given a shit. But the fact is, it's not true.
So he should have. I'm still confused. What he should have done.
Don't be confused. You're confused, but
the
majority of everybody watching, you go on Twitter or Facebook, even on TV, they're flashing pictures of him next. They're making a scene about it on TV as well. So it's just something there. It's not like it's like we're bringing it up. We're just bringing it up because everybody else is bringing it up. It's just nauseating. That's what it is. It wants to make you puke. All right, back to a more important thing than Governor Mr. Bridgegate himself. when I put up that Springsteen thing where he did where Jimmy Fallon did that Bruce Springsteen. You ever see that where
No.
so out of touch? You watch Godfather too?
No.
How many times you got to ask that question there, Cash?
I just asked it once today.
No, Godfather. Didn't you ask last week?
Yeah, well, that was last week.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You should catch a hint.
All week. I was
You should catch
Monday
a
through
hint.
Saturday. I worked. I had no time for that.
What happened to Sproles yesterday? How come he's using him anymore? I don't understand. He does use him. It works.
Yeah, of course. I want him to use him.
Yeah,
He won't use him.
I was so happy when he rounded in, and of all things, Shady was blocking for him, and it was one of those times in the game when you actually saw Dallas didn't know what to do, or the defense didn't know what to do. It looked like, okay, all right, maybe we're gonna come back from this, and I was excited about that. And then 2 plays later, when they got the ball next time, I was like, all right, I guess that was a one and done.
I don't know how when you have such
a dynamic player,
when you had not even so much Sproles, just
right?
the game itself. When you came that far back at home, and we had all the momentum in the world. How do you not finish that off? How do you not finish that game off?
That's exact. And the secondary did it. They let. First of all, the interference call, which to me,
that was bad.
I'm so tired of the interference calls on every play. And yesterday, same thing. I watched a lot of football yesterday. We're talking 3 straight games, and all I did was watch flag after flag and disappointment after good plays being called back from cheap calls. We talked about that Seattle game where
I've never seen a call that bad in my life. I mean, of any sport.
I don't understand what these refs are looking at, and like I just think they see a hard hit, they throw a flag.
That's really what it is.
And like we talked about and he was saying it was head to head, and it wasn't even close. In fact, it was textbook of the way the NFL wants players to hit now.
Says they want players to hit.
Right. They wrap up and pull in. That's what he did. And because he went down, and Russell got up like, well, I got a penalty on that one. He was just shocked as anybody on that field to see that.
See, I mean, my natural instinct is always that's not a flag. That's not a flag. Then they'll show replay and sometimes like, okay, maybe it was. But I'm watching that. I say that's not a flag. They bring Mike Pereira in, who we're all a big fan of here. And even, know it's bad when Pereira says that is not a flag, because he usually agrees with anything the refs do or say on the field. Yeah, but even he said that was a bad call. He said that was a bad call. Then it comes out today that the director of officiating says that was a bad call. Even when your boss and your superior, every single person is saying it's a bad call. You made a very bad call. Like no one defended. Nobody's like, oh, I could see maybe. No, that was the worst call I've ever seen. No, and that ended the game. Would San Francisco won anyway? Maybe not. But that ended the game because that was 3rd down, ended the drive, gave them a free first. They scored a touchdown 2 plays later. That ended the game on that flag.
See, I don't understand. Okay, I know with the last couple of weeks, especially 3 weeks, we've been bitching about these hits and these fines that they're throwing at these guys for these hits. Are they when they something like that was a bad call, whatever, or
he wouldn't get, he's not gonna get fined.
No, I mean, but in those cases where you sit there, it was the helmet one like 2 weeks ago that wasn't helmet. I forget what game it was, and he got the New England exactly, and do they pull back? Oh, we're sorry, we didn't mean. We talked. We said we were gonna fine you and all this.
See, I never follow up with fines. I don't know who gets fined and who doesn't. So I can't. I'm morbidly curious if they sit there and go, "Oh, we're sorry. Here's your check back." Well, they don't automatically fine you like right off the bat. They'll look at it, and if it's not a bad hit, they won't fine you.
No, that's what I mean. I was wondering.
The fines come after the play, actually, most of the time.
Yeah, they come the next day.
I understand that, but I was just sitting there going, you never hear about them going, "We changed our mind. It was a good hit. He didn't get fined." Is what I'm. I guess what I'm alluding to.
They did it today.
I mean, they said that was a bad.
They said that was the wrong call. Should have been a flag.
But was he going to get fined for that as a hit anyway?
Well,
if it was helmet to helmet, yeah, probably.
Yeah, after the fact.
Oh, okay, all right.
When they review all those plays and then they decide afterwards.
They'll just fine you on the field. Hand you a ticket. Here you
go. Unreal.
Go to appeals court.
It's tough watching football. It's a lot of hours.
It really, it's draining.
It's the ebb and flow goes on the yellow flag anymore. It seems like it. What are you going to do? I think we should take a break. So the first half hour in the books. Cashier King, my chef to the left, Brendan B. I get a wall here, all inspiring.